Welcome to the final round of judging for the Automation Engine Cosmetic Design Competition. For this one, we posed a challenge to our official Discord server. Take a basic automation engine and build on it in the car designer to produce a realistic looking engine installation to then present your final product to the community in an interesting and unique way. Sounds simple? This was one of the most complex and challenging design competition prompts yet, and we thank our 29 participants for rising to the occasion. In this video, we will first go through the 14 non-finalist entries in a quick presentation, and then we will join Automation's QA lead Aram, our community manager Mr. Chips, and longtime community administrator Mike on P7 as they evaluate the 15 finalists from this community challenge to find our winner. Enjoy! And now, on to the finalists.
I have seen this before, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, so this is the Lift Equations Supercar. Bit of a recycled job on this one.
There's quite a lot going on.
Yeah, there definitely is.
That's not a good place for a battery.
It's really high for a supercar.
And way out in the back, too.
Molten plastics.
Oh, I was thinking more about the weight distribution. Yeah.
Also that. I mean, this is just for engine bay, right? So I think we already gave this a full review of the car itself in the, what was it, a retro design one?
Yeah, this was in the Retro Modern Design competition as well. So like I said, a bit of a recycled entry for anybody who's seen that video.
But I'm pretty sure when we saw that video, when we saw this car there, we said, oh, that's a great engine bay, but that's the best part of this car. And the interior is nice, but that's not the point here.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're kind of in the same spot here, is that it has a fairly nice engine bay, but the rest of the car is perhaps not the best.
So yeah, for the engine bay, like, yeah, it's good.
It's a little
Don't
cramped,
have so
which I
much to
guess
say
makes
about
sense.
Oops,
Yeah.
that was-
It's got to be a little bit
Yeah.
cramped. I mean, it is a fairly small car, and obviously the idea of a supercar is big engine, small car.
And I feel like it could have done with more pictures on different angles of the actual engine bay.
Yeah,
The kill switch is a nice touch, but I
It
don't
is.
think it's accessible at all while you're, like, most of the time a kill switch is either accessible from the inside of the, like, from the seat or from the outside of the car.
yeah.
Yeah, isn't that like, for example, when the engine is on fire? Yeah, have fun getting to that.
Kill switch is great unless your engine is on fire when you absolutely need it. Overall, I'd say there's not really a huge amount of customization going on here. I mean, with the engine itself, there's lots of stuff going on with the engine bay, with the battery and the air boxes and so on, and the suspension. So that's pretty nice. But I don't think I can give this a super high mark, partly because, even though there's no rule against it, it is a recycled entry, and it would have been nice to have seen something new for this. But it's decent. I'll give it that. So I think
Absolutely.
for score for this one, I'll give it a 7. Yeah, we're getting to that point already.
I'm in between here because, like, there's nothing like extremely bad, but there's also nothing which really pops in my like. If you get my drift, like, yeah, somebody took the time to, like, dress it up.
There's a lot of, like, tubing going on, but I can't really tell where any of the tubing is going. Like, and there's not, like, a nice engine cover like I would expect for, or at least not in these pictures for the supercars.
Yeah.
Even is that? Okay, now what is that, like, plastic thing on the left? Actually, is that an airbox?
I think so. But then where does the airbox connect with the rest of the engine?
I'm confused.
Yeah,
Oil cooler?
maybe.
And it does have an oil brand. Yeah, I'd probably give this a 6.5.
I'm not gonna be mean. I'm at the 5 right now.
Ooh, that is mean, but fair. Not a bad way to start the competition, but I think we'll, on a hint of things to come, I think we have some better entries than this, but overall, pretty solid start.
Oh, the community is on my side. Thank you.
Okay, our next entry here, it is from 4 Big Guys and his modern GT car. So my first thought is that this engine has all of the charm, positive and negative, of a completely modern engine bay, which means we get one great big cover.
Also, terrible to work on.
Yes.
I like the top though. That's nice.
Yeah,
And the
well,
integrated tanks. That's funny.
This is actually quite well done for what it is. It's just not a super exciting and interesting engine, unfortunately, overall.
I like
That's a
the
question
picture
of
with
both.
the hood open. That's a nice touch. Because that's
Yeah.
a lot of work.
That's a lot of work.
And they put hinges on it, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not just some floating hood, so that's quite nice. And it's even got a little hood catch on it too, if you look right up in the.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
fancy.
It just needs gas struts.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking it's a nice effort overall for what a modern car would look like under the hood, but it's not really all that exciting to look at, unfortunately.
Is there only one picture of the engine?
We have the two pictures. I'll just go back to one here. You have the overhead and then sort of the closer detail shot.
So what is the white knob in the middle, the front? That's supposed to be for the intercooler?
It's probably an oil
Looks like
filter
oil filter for
or some sort of reservoir, perhaps. I think they were kind of going for like the Lexus LFA look, where they have like the two reservoirs, or the two oil filters right up on the top of the engine there.
I think it stands out too much in the white, and it like is in a whole black engine bay.
Yeah. And usually those are like black plastic or metal, not like painted white.
And you can't catch like the fact that they are white in this picture means they are either overexposed or the rest of the engine bay is underexposed because the rest of it's black. So I think it just takes away from the further detail, because I see some writing on the left side, the left bank. But
Yeah.
like I can't really tell what it is.
It seems to be Ishin I-38 V8. So that was actually my next question, is I couldn't really tell what this is, but I guess it is a V8 engine indeed.
I would have loved to know what's written on that plaque.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some details on there that just kind of got lost in these pictures. And that would have been a nice little detail to have as a picture. So a hint for future participants, if you got nice little details like that, make sure you get close-up shots of them, because it's cool to see. So in terms of score, I think, that's a tough one, because as I said, on the one hand, it is exactly what you'd see in a modern car. But on the other hand, is it really that exciting to look at? I'm going to say, I'm going to have to give this one a 6, I think.
I really like everything he did around the engine.
Yeah.
That's really clever, and like somebody thought of this. Like the separate panels, the integrated tanks, and everything. The hood lock, right?
Mhm.
The catch. Those are
Yeah, but
all really cool details. But is it bad to say that I'm kind of more interested in those details than the actual engine?
I mean, that's engine bay, so that's fair.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think if you're looking at those details, they should also have, like, if you're in an engine bay, it will always say what these knobs are for. And I could like, there's 4 reservoir intakes, but I'd have no idea which one's which, what one's for what.
Oh,
so
labeling.
that seems like it's missing.
Yeah, I tend to agree on that.
But I think the engine bay itself is pretty well designed. So I'm probably going to give this a 6.5 as well.
Yep, same thought. 6.5.
I think I'll actually bump my score up to 6.5 as well, now that I think about it. You guys made some good points. The car it's gone into is reasonably nice, I have to say, though.
To be fair, I'm kind of so on it somehow.
Yeah.
I
Reasonably
think the
nice.
full glass top is a nice touch, but I'm trying not to really pay attention to the car it's in, except for like if the engine makes sense in that car.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, our next entry comes from Ike.exec, and it is, we don't really see a whole lot of the car, but it is a twin-charged supermini car.
That's fun.
It's a fun idea for sure, and there is definitely a lot going on in here,
Oh yeah, that's packed.
as one would expect from a tiny little car with a great big engine in it.
A lot of good details.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. I really like all the details here.
It definitely looks like something like this was made in an afterthought. As bad as it sounds like, oh, we have to put our like performance engine into this way too small car. Just cramp it in.
Yeah, exactly. It's just jammed in there. No thought given to service cost at all.
Yeah, it's not displayed like a high spec luxury car or something, right?
No, this is all business.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
like the top-mounted intercooler, but I don't think I often see top-mounted intercooler actually have shrouds around them. They generally just hang there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's especially in a tiny little engine bay like this. I mean, that's just taking up a lot of space that you really probably don't want to otherwise. One thing I just noticed up here in the top left corner of this picture is there's the very 80s/90s asbestos warning. Probably talking about your brake pads and everything else that are gonna give you lung cancer in 10 years just by looking at them.
This vehicle might cause cancer in the state of California.
Yeah.
I really like the clear rush. Like it looks very realistic in the material pictures.
Yeah. All the details in this and everything, I really quite like how this turned out. This is exactly the sort of thing that I was hoping we'd see a lot of.
Yep.
As a result, I'm going to give it probably, I'm going to give it struggling between 8.5 or 9.
Can we go back to the first picture? Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, the tube at the top coming out of the intercooler seems really small.
Yeah, a little bit. It might be hiding kind of underneath the cover there, because it kind of might go from the intercooler around the back. And
I was looking at the top one. I thought that was coming out, but where is that one going?
That's a good question. What is that tube?
Confused piping. Perfect. That's very realistic.
Yeah, because it looks like it heads towards the front of the radiator area, and then all the way around the back, and I don't know, it might be like a heater tube or something.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I was confused. Like I thought that was the intercooler for the intake, and I was like, that's not going where it's supposed to, and also way too small. But if it's a heater tube,
maybe it's a fancy water-cooled intercooler. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be 2
Water
intercoolers.
pipe for it.
Because we have the air one, air-to-air one, of course. Yeah, I think I'll stick with an 8.5 on this one. You know, it's pretty good. There's just a couple little tiny little details that I'd maybe change a little bit, like the cover's a bit strange. And unfortunately, this is kind of plagued a little bit by everybody's favorite thing, the dark photo curves, which is one of my favorite things ever, as anybody has known from watching these.
Yeah, I would go with 8.5.
I think I'll go with a 9. I really like all the details, all the reservoirs, the caps everywhere. Like it feels like a complete engine bay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only things we really found were really nitpicks.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, the diameter of this tube is not large enough.
Your hoses are a millimeter too small in diameter. I'm sorry, you have lost.
Banned.
Yes, and just a little bit of a flavor shot of the car. This is one I actually would have liked to have seen, a shot of the car and sort of in its entirety, because I have a feeling it's a pretty neat little design too. But yeah,
I feel like I would want a shot of the car to know what type of car it is, and then the rest should be engine bay.
For sure.
I know the car was also in the other picture, but same. There's box in the back. I guess that's it. You don't really see the car.
Mm-hmm. Next up is from Aurora the Robot, and it is their custom motorcycle.
The question is, can it really be an engine bay if there's no bay?
I mean, technically it is, in a way. And unfortunately, chatting with Aurora, this ended up being entered unfinished just because they ran out of time. I'm not going to hold that against them necessarily, but because basically everything that should be there for the purpose of this challenge is here. But this is a build that I definitely like to see actually finished at some point. So
it's a naked bike. It's fine. Just strip it.
Just more naked than normal.
I mean, you can just imagine that it's naked because then we can see the engine then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lots of great detail in here for sure.
There's a little bit of floating things here and there.
Yeah. I just noticed that all the welds seem to be
pieces.
Yeah. All of the welds in the tube frame are made from individual fixtures. That's crazy attention to detail. This is definitely pretty cool, I have to say.
Oh yeah, it's very cool. I do wonder how the intake will get air when normally they stick out of the side. This just points to the top where I assume a gas tank would be.
Kind of depends, actually. There's a lot of bikes that actually do this sort of thing. Like they have the intake sort of poking up underneath some of the body work and fairings and whatnot, and we're like right underneath the gas tank, so it's not super uncommon. The bigger question, I think, is with all that stuff in place, where would you actually have the air filters for this?
Well, I think the idea is it comes in through the radiator or intercool radiator
Yeah,
in front behind the wheel. So you would go down, but you'd have such a small space to even have a gas tank up there.
Mm-hmm.
The battery is well placed.
Yeah.
I have a question. I don't know a lot about motorcycles. Is it a thing that like when you go to the exhaust tubing, you could see it in one of the other pictures. Is it like yeah, the middle one? Is that normal that people split those off like that? Just half?
I don't
Like,
know,
no.
actually. I mean, I would think that what you do is probably have one of your exhaust runs being one bank and then the other one being the other one. It's not really something I know quite a whole lot about in terms of motorcycles either, but you kind of assume that it'd be sort of the front 3 cylinders would have theirs and the rears would have theirs. So
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about V6 motorcycles, but because you have V4 motorcycles, but then you can split them evenly.
mhm.
But splitting them unevenly probably causes some weird back pressure situations.
Yeah. You could probably design it to work, though, I suspect. I think it would just be a lot more complicated than it would otherwise be. Yeah, and in the chat, the builders actually, they pointed out there's only like 2 V6 motorcycles that have ever been made in the world, to the best of anybody's knowledge. So this is very much an uncharted territory.
And you'd have to rev some pretty small cylinders to be able to make a V6 work.
hmm On the other hand,
I'm gonna do Google search now because I'm interested. Doesn't the Goldwing have a V6 or something?
that's a flat 6, or I think the modern ones are flat 4s now.
Oh yeah, well that makes it easier.
I mean, I can imagine why this is unfinished. Like, there's so much work in every single small detail. All the welds, all the electricals, everything is there. But it's just too bad that it's then unfinished.
Yeah, basically everything here is, let's go back there. Everything you see here is made up of tiny little fixtures. So that's the amount of work that's gone into this is just staggering. Well done to the creator of this.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm gonna give this a 9.5 overall. I mean, it's really, really good.
I can go with 9. That's fair, I think.
I'll probably give this an 8.5, but more because I don't know if this, like, I guess it fits in the design description, but this is not what I was imagining with the design description.
That's part of the fun, though, is you end up getting things that you don't necessarily anticipate. So
Yeah, and the unfinished, there's a little bit of floating here and there that just... I'd rather have something that's slightly less detailed than this, but finished.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's maybe my only knock on that, and that's why I couldn't quite give this a full 10. It's just, it would have been nice to see this completely finished, because I have a feeling that as it is, as a finished product, it would be like that much more spectacular than it already is. Okay, so for our next entry, it's from Braamo BTM.
That's a lot happening.
There is a lot happening here.
There's so much good here, and then the suspension's just sticking through on the right side.
Yeah, just a little bit. Did everything except, unfortunately, hide that little bit of automation-grade suspension. The exhausts are
Imagine that.
interesting.
Yeah, dual tip side pipes.
Yeah. The headers, though, specifically,
Spaghetti.
it is a little bit spaghetti-ish. I'm not exactly sure you'd see that from what looks like, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a V10 engine. But, I mean, you definitely have some spaghetti with, equal-length racing headers, but this is maybe too spaghettified, perhaps.
This seems very modified.
Yeah.
I
All
like
the-
race
the-
aspect.
The heat wrapping around it is nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool material for sure.
Yeah.
Bit of an interesting kind of car it's in, though. Kind of a
Yeah,
retro
yeah.
modern supercar.
Convertible.
Yeah. Again, there's lots of little details going on here. Like, you can't really see any of the text that's on the cam covers. It would've been nice
V12?
I guess so. Apparently I can't count today.
To be fair, there's too much spaghetti in the way. Yeah, there's 6 intake cylinders, tubes.
Yeah, so there is. Well, then how did I get... Oh,
How does it get air? I'm still...
I'm assuming they come up through these intercoolers here at the front, and then through these chrome tubes, which are kind of small, and then into the intake manifolds.
So each bank has its own intercooler?
It would
I
seem
guess
so.
yeah.
I mean, you could do that. It's been done, but...
Yeah, but most of the time when it's done...
Hmm.
Most of the time when it's done, isn't the whole point that the intercoolers can then be off to the side and you can take completely cold air in instead of radiator cooled air?
Yeah. Or it's done for packaging reasons because there's just not enough room for one big intercooler.
Yeah, but it's now in the same space where there is one. So I feel like the benefits of doing 2 separate intercoolers aren't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this case, you would have put them next to the main intercooler there, I would say. To the left and to the right.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it's an interesting build, that's for sure.
All the wiring on the firewall is nice.
Oh yeah, all the wiring and tubes, and even going as far as having the windshield wiper motor there. I also like the detail around the strut towers too, even though it's kind of not really where the suspension is supposed to be put. Although the one thing that I've just noticed now that is instantly driving me nuts is the windshield washer bottle is sticking out partly through the bodywork. Yeah, it's generally a pretty good effort, I have to say. I don't know. I probably have to give this one 8.5 again, probably, overall.
It has a lot of good elements, but I don't know, that not like fitting together somehow, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it. There's a lot going on, but it feels like there's just a lot of things just shoveled in here.
The attention to detail in some spaces, and then the lack of attention to detail in other places, where the suspension pokes through and the bottle pokes out. Like, they distract from the good details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, actually, with that.
I'll probably give this an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably change mine down to an 8, actually, too. Lots of good details in places, but lots of not great details either, unfortunately. Up next we have from Crazy Cat 808, a very French sedan.
I already appreciate this for the fact that it's not a supercar or a hypercar or something. Just this is just a normal sedan.
Oh no, it has the hydraulic bolts.
As normal as a French car can be, at least.
Oh, it's no longer a normal sedan.
No, it's very well executed overall, I have to say.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of details, and they're not overly detailed details, but they get across what it is.
Yeah,
exactly. Everything right down to the little stickers on the intake cowling as well, which...
Yeah, and on the inside of the grill that moves open.
Yeah. The grill that opens, that we have a little image of that here. But they took the time to animate and explain exactly what that's all about. So
yeah,
apparently,
it's a service hedge.
Yeah. How French is that?
That's very French.
It's very German because Audi A2 had that.
That's a cool little detail for sure. Car is relatively well executed too. But yeah, this is...
Yeah, it seems...
This feels exactly like what you'd see if you went up some high-trim French sedan in the mid-1990s and popped the hood. It's completely believable as such.
There's not as much insane detail in it. Yeah, it's definitely... if you were to spend another many hours on this and smooth all those corners out, it gets a lot more clean and a lot more realistic. This is more like I'm planning out an engine bay and I'm blocking everything out to get across where everything should be.
Yep. Yeah, there's been some effort put into the packaging here because it feels like this is the sort of car that would have had an inline 4 in it, sort of in its base trim. So now all of a sudden you're jamming this big V6 in, and now you've got to be really careful where everything goes. That feels very, very realistic in that regard.
Oh, I hope this comes with a 1.6 diesel or something.
Oh, you'd only be so lucky for it to have an engine that big.
Yeah, I think it's just a well clean design.
Yeah, overall, I quite like this one.
Like I said, some of the parts are maybe a bit blocky, I think. But otherwise,
Some of them are pre-made parts. You know, stuff like the battery and the brake lines they're all pre-made fixtures, so you're kind of limited in terms of that, unless you're going to go to the trouble of doing like hundreds and hundreds of little tubes and whatnot placed individually.
There's also nothing wrong with using pre-made fixtures. Like if you have good pre-made fixtures and you know where to use them well, then
Exactly.
good job.
Yeah, you know, it's just, you know, use pre-made stuff where it makes sense, and then spend your effort where, you know, the extra detailing makes sense to spend the extra time at.
yeah, exactly.
I think I'll give this an 8. With the blockiness of it, I don't think I can really give it more, but it's consistently detailed.
Yeah, I agree with that. 8 for me as well.
I'm going with 8.5.
Yeah, it's overall, you know, as Aram said, this is a nice palate cleanser from all the supercars we've seen so far. You know, actually seeing a normal car in this is refreshing. Good way to stand out in case anybody's thinking about future design competitions.
Like, that door has to be so wobbly after a few years.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that'll just fall off after once the car's out of its initial ownership or lease period, it's gone.
It's an aftermarket thing, and people will put oil coolers there. And
Yeah,
also, just I like asymmetrical designs, and the fact that the hatch is an asymmetrical design is just nice.
yeah, for sure. This is from Ellie, and it's a bit hard to place on what exactly it is. It kind of looks like it's a homologation race car / supercar. It kind of lives in a bit of a world between those.
Or GT vibes.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here in this engine bay,
Oh.
I'll have to say.
it's supercharged.
And it looks to be turbocharged too, with the turbochargers under those sort of heat shieldy looking things.
Widowmaker.
Yeah, this is a very aggressive looking car, to say the least.
And this has low poly video game 3D cars vibe.
Little bit. I think it's just the limitations how they went about their 3D fixture work, especially on the big body kit.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool
That's
though.
just how it is.
Leans a little more towards sort of the fantasy side of things, but it's kind of refreshing to see that. You know, sometimes it's fanciful, but at the same time also believable too. I like the approach in this one. I suspect that a lot of this stuff here, looking at especially in the piping going into the turbochargers that have been very much relocated from where they would be in the automation engine. There's been a lot of this is all very custom work through here.
And all that, the chassis framing.
Yeah. Yeah, the more you look, there's just detail everywhere here. The only knock I can have against this is you look down behind the engine and you see a very tiny little transmission. An engine like this, you'd suspect have a lot of horsepower, and you'd probably have the transmission kind of grows commensurate to that a little bit. So you got like this great big 1,000 horsepower engine, and it's got a 300 horsepower sized sort of transmission that's so attached to it.
Transmissions are every 10,000 kilometers.
Yeah, every race.
You say that.
Something
That
like
is the GR 86 and stuff. They do that. They have a transmission every race.
Yeah, they do actually, don't they? Some great material use in here. Like I really like the gold foil texture they put on some of the stuff. That's a really nice touch. I wonder where they got that from.
Also
Actually,
breaks the color palette a bit, which is nice. So like breaks the just being monotone colors.
Yeah.
That's
But I wonder why the places they chose, because it feels a little random.
Mm-hmm. I can see against the firewall there for sure.
Yeah.
But
It's
you
not on the other
probably,
side.
yeah, you'd probably want to have. I mean, considering this engine probably produces a monumental amount of heat, I think you'd probably want to have like some of the intake like some
Yeah.
of these throttle bodies and whatnot. And that kind of raises some questions too. Like, I'm assuming this is up top. This is an intake for something. Then you have the turbochargers down here.
Yeah, you'd
Piping
have to
kind
have
of
a
goes some weird routing here.
Yeah, I don't know how that would connect. Also, those turbochargers feel, I guess there's 4 of them, but they still feel small for this engine.
Yeah, they do a little bit, don't they? Oh, maybe not. I mean, looking at it from this view, you can see they're... I don't know.
They're taking up good space.
Yeah. I'd say it's probably
Yeah.
a reasonable size, looking at it here.
It seems like maybe the front of the airbox goes down to the to the turbos, but I don't know how it would go back up into the airbox.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this has different intercoolers for the turbos.
It's just Bluetooth intake piping.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think for this one...
I mean, for a fantasy car, you can have Bluetooth intake, right?
Oh, for sure.
It's not getting driven anyways, it's fine.
No. I think I'll give this... I'm probably going to have to give it an 8 again, actually, I think. Just because it's like there's a lot going on here and there's a lot of cool stuff, but there are some... I've had a lot of questions about how things actually work now that I start looking closer at it.
You have... Can you quickly go back to like the detailed actual engine bay?
Yeah, sure.
Like, there's a lot going on here, but I feel like there's also a lot missing for having an engine.
Yeah.
I don't see a battery anywhere. I don't see
No air filters.
any reservoirs. Like, there's none of that.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if this is made like as a SEMA show and shine, right? Then you don't have that.
No, exactly.
I'd probably go with an 8 as well.
And then like that structure looks very much like some dudes in the garage just welding stuff together.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Like
they
fully custom stuff.
comes in on a trailer, rolls off without starting the engine, and just sits on the showroom floor.
That would also make sense why nothing is connected with a SEMA build, because it doesn't need to drive.
Yeah, or it has like a tiny electric motor to just drive it around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm gonna go 8.5 again. Then.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting build, for sure.
There's a lot of nice detail about the actual bay.
Yeah, there is. And it's definitely... The other nice thing is it's another build it's in keeping with what you'd expect from a car that's designed like this. You know, it makes sense in context.
Oh, this is actually nice now because you can see how the air intake works with the closed
Yeah.
canopy there.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of got that restrictor, sort of modern restrictor type intake that you'd see on sort of modern GT cars and LMP type cars, where it's got the tiny little restrictor that chokes it down a bit. Whether that's actually what's going on here or not, I don't know. That's just how I see it.
I mean, clearly they intend to have a intercooler all the way up the front with the hood through intercooler design.
Hmm.
I think you can even
Yeah.
see the intercoolers behind those grills in the rear wheel, on the body kit, in the back wheels. I think. I mean, looks.
Yeah,
like
maybe
Yeah.
it feels like it's trying to cool things everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean, it probably does need that.
it probably does actually. I suspect it's a very high horsepower engine, so it needs every bit of cooling it can get. Next one comes from Frederick Lennius, and it is their LMP car.
Oh hell yeah!
Honestly, I mean, I don't really know what to say about this other than 10 out of 10 no notes.
No, 0 out of 10. The text is not aligned. On
Oh,
the intake.
oh dear, yes. 0 out of 10 then, because
Oh,
one little
sorry.
bit of text.
Next.
Yeah, I mean, just, I don't know what to say other than this is exactly what you'd want to see from a build like this.
Yep.
Nothing is out of place. Nothing is sort of questionable. It's just, it's perfect.
This is again, this is done really well with the separate radiators on each side.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's
separate radiators, separate intercoolers. It all works.
I like all the hose clamps and the silicone hose sections.
I have a feeling this
Oh,
is a car that was already in the works or was already done and then got an extra set of details done.
It was. We actually featured this car in its sort of preliminary form probably a month before this challenge really even started. And then I guess the builder thought, well, there's an interesting idea, let's go for it. And then they did, and I'm glad they did too. Oh, it was made for the challenge. The builder is actually in the chat here with us, and they actually made this for the challenge, so I guess I was mistaken on my timeline. But considering the amount of detail that's in here, and I mean, it wasn't a short design window we had for the challenge. It was basically 6 weeks or thereabouts. This is still a remarkable final product.
Also, I really appreciate just a little bit of extra design near the firewall where you get a little bit of ventilation for the cockpit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is, and I mean, in context with the car, I mean, this is basically like your perfect late 2000s, early 2010s LMP or P1 type car. Of course, I'm stick handling around a very important aspect of the design of this car, because it's definitely not an automation, but this is supposed to be a diesel powered car.
Yeah.
Which is, it's too bad we don't have diesels, because this would be sort of the ultimate cool application of that kind of engine. But I mean, this is, yeah, I don't know what to say other than wow.
Yeah. There's really nothing to really complain about besides the lettering.
Yeah, this is unquestionably a 10 out of 10 for me. I mean, there's no way I can justify a score other than 10 out of 10 for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like, I've spent the whole time trying to find details that don't make sense, and I can't find anything.
Yeah.
Like, this is something like which, if you remember the motorcycle, if you look at the exhaust here, right, you can see that's definitely bigger sections, and that just looks a bit better, in my opinion, than what the motorcycle had, whereas like every pipe bit was like 5 centimeters or something. Yeah,
and it makes the welds, the material with the weld texture on it just look a little bit more plausible in that regard, because it's, you know, it's bigger sections and you actually see where the bends are, and oh, there's actually a weld there, where you'd probably see that in sort of a real application.
I mean, realistically, this probably still has too many welds in it, but it does look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this has exceeded my expectations in every conceivable way. Very well done to the builder for this. You should be very proud of what you've done here.
Yeah, I'm curious how many hours was spent on this.
Well, Frederick, how many hours did you spend on this?
I wonder if you want to know himself.
Oh, it's probably one of those things where I really don't want to know. He says at least 50, which is actually, considering the amount of detail in it, that's not really that much.
Yeah. No, yeah, I was expecting triple digits.
Yeah, I was thinking probably towards 100 even.
I mean, they are a fucking machine anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those, it's like anytime you do a project, you know, whether it's a car or a house renovation or anything else, you don't want to look at how much it cost and how much time you spent on it in the end. It's just, it's done. Let's leave it at that.
This is how I like my automation builds. The .car file size in the megabytes.
Oh, this would be deep in the megabytes at that point. Another familiar car. This one is from Ivan, and it is his retro modern muscle car.
It didn't have the but it didn't have the supercharger back then, did it?
It did actually.
Oh, did it actually? I'm stupid. Never mind.
That's a thick belt.
It is. Probably thicker than you'd see from like a modern supercharged engine, but not out of the realm of plausibility either.
This was probably for the Alrima phase of the update, considering all the Alrima text.
It was. In fact, this is the car that is going to be all over our cover art for the Alrima update when it comes out. And because of that, this is basically just a straight up 100% recycle from that. So, again,
can I recycle my score?
If you want to, sure.
I mean, you're totally judging it on different elements now. I mean, mostly the same.
Yeah.
This is a very, you know, we were talking about having a car previous to the one that we just saw, Ellie's car as being a SEMA build. This is really a SEMA build type engine.
Yeah, this is PC.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no electrical wiring anywhere.
Yep.
This engine does not run.
Or if it
I mean, you
does,
can even see it. Like, that's what is it? There's a coil in the firewall and it's not connected to
Yeah.
anything.
Either that, or they've covered everything under the supercharger intercooler.
I mean, there are tricks of how you can actually really clean up an engine bay and get all the wiring hidden, but this would be that taken to like an absolute extreme. I mean, it's a great looking car too.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that's why we chose it as the cover art for that you'll be seeing a lot of here in the coming months. But yeah, it would have been nice to have seen an original build for this. I mean, I understand that not everybody has like all of the time to do that, but
It would also be cool to see some of the front angles of where the radiator would be.
yeah. Actually, what this would have been kind of cool to see is like having the engine just completely separate from the car. You know, have the body hidden, have all the suspension hidden, but just have the engine and its fixtures associated hanging out and just get a really nice look at the engine. Because I suspect because I can see that gone to some effort to wrap the exhaust manifold here too, and some of that detail just gets kind of lost in these shots.
The badges for the coolant and the plaque for who probably handmade this is
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I really quite like that for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's an excellent build. I just think we've already seen this. It's nothing. It doesn't have the wow factor, unfortunately, that something original would have had.
Not anymore.
You know, it's still very cool, but it's not like the previous one that was just like, holy shit, that's incredible.
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree with that.
I think for that, I'm probably going to give this. I'm going to have to give it an 8, I think. I mean, if this was new and original for this challenge, I'd be a lot more excited about it. But because we've already seen this and because it's already won a challenge, it's dampened my excitement a little bit, I'd have to say.
I think I'll go with the 7.5 for basically the same reasoning, and also, like, even if you're making a SEMA build, I feel like you should make it show that your car can still run, and I don't know, like, there's a lot of things missing here, I feel, if you're doing that.
I'm going with 8, but for the same reasons. Like, the magic has a bit worn off. I already won. It's enough of.
You don't get to win again.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to make a rule about that for future design challenges, that if you entered your car before, probably a good idea to do something original. And especially if you've won the challenge before, definitely come with something new.
Yeah, I think if you've been at least in the final judging with a car, then you shouldn't be able to resubmit it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Something to keep in mind for next time. This one is from Kanye West, and it is his 1970s sports prototype race car.
Oh, hell yeah.
The hot V exhaust manifold there. That's kind of cool to see. And see, this is the kind of shot I would have liked to have seen of Ivan's build from prior. You know, have all the fixtures associated with the engine, you know, with the intakes and exhausts and whatnot, just kind of on its own and out of the car. Because now we can see all the work that Kanye's done on this, and it's pretty impressive, I have to say.
Also, the exhaust material here being like this weird gray means you don't really see, like, yeah, you see where the cuts are, but they don't draw as much attention to them as opposed to when they have a million different welds on them.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can see
filter a bit, but
yeah, a bit of the filter there. You can kind of see it with just changes in reflections, but it's less conspicuous than it was before. Yeah, there's definitely a lot going on here.
This is nice, yeah, the floating engine.
Mm-hmm.
Those Noctua fans are a bit weird, in my opinion.
This feels like they were like, oh shit, our car overheats all the time, we need to add some extra cooling to it, but they didn't have space to add extra cooling, so they just forced more air through.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't.
You'd have to You have to
Wasn't big
spin
enough.
those fans so fast.
PC fans in the 60s, basically.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like knock-door fans.
Yeah. Well, they're not brown, though, so.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I imagine that those fans would be for like low speeds they would turn on, but for high speeds the forced air through there would be enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, the work on this custom exhaust manifold this detail shot really shows what exactly went into that. There's a lot of thought put into this and a lot of effort. It's quite nice.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the floating design. I want to see it in the car more because that's part of it is fitting in a thing. But if this is the only picture of that, that's a little disappointing.
I think
Yeah.
we got a couple more here of. Yeah, there we go.
Well, that doesn't really show it. That's not
Yeah,
really
it's-
helpful.
I mean, it gives a little bit of the space frame around it, but
Yeah, it gives some context of what's going on here, which is appreciated.
I feel bad for the people who have to tire change this thing. Have to
Yeah.
take the clamshell off every time you want to change a tire.
Well, maybe
Oh,
there's
yeah.
removable panels. That was not super uncommon back in the day, but again, if you're doing a Le Mans pit stop, it's 24 hours, and that was in the era when, they weren't
You
shaving
could lose
seconds
2
off.
laps.
Yeah, this is,
Yeah, it's,
I like this.
I'd actually show how it opens. Yeah, one of the pictures.
Yeah, right there.
You can do it then, I guess.
Oh yeah,
and they can, in the meantime, change the oil.
or any of the other
Again,
things.
this has a front intake that which would have a radiator or something to cool something, but there's none of that is shown.
Yeah,
No, I think that's literally more aero because you can see the hood also has the opening, so it's just to push it down.
sort of
think
a
it's
hidden
just
little
airflow.
spoiler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a wing, basically, yeah. I imagine there might be some cooling there, but there's so many radiators and whatnot back here. Like, there's obviously oil coolers and transmission coolers and everything there. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. So is there really even a need for something up front there?
It's really too bad that this is in the same design challenge as the LMP1 we just saw, because that puts into context the insanity of it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. This would have scored extremely well, and it's still going to score extremely well, I think, when I finally get around to scoring it. But with that other LMP car, that's a tough order to compete against.
Can you maybe go back to one of the other pictures because I want to see something?
One of the engine shots.
Yeah, because I have the feeling there's a lot of time, or most of the time was spent on the exhaust,
Mm-hmm.
basically. Like
Oh,
the other
sure.
LMP car, there was time spent into everything.
Yeah.
Right? This feels a bit more like, the exhaust took 80% of the time.
Yeah,
Basically, yeah.
you can see that there's definitely a lot of effort put into that. Like, the overall car is, there's a reasonable amount of effort in that. Although I do know that Kanye's kind of the move fast, break things kind of builder. So he's quick enough and talented enough that he can throw something like that together in a few hours. So.
Yeah, they basically said I wanted to make a cool exhaust. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you made a cool exhaust.
I can see that.
Yep. And they're just in the chat with us right now. They said this is one sitting pretty much that he put it all together. So, that's
Fair enough.
really impressive that you can do that in one sitting.
How long was that sitting? 24 hours?
Yeah,
Yeah, they said sitting, not how long that sitting was. Could have been a week.
yeah. Sat down and didn't get up for 4 days.
Locked in.
I think it's a cool design. I think the details are definitely exhaust focused, which is fine, but it takes a bit away from everything else.
It is, yeah. That's probably my only big knock on it. It is just a little bit on the one-dimensional side, but otherwise, it's quite good. I'm gonna give it a 9 actually.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5, I think.
Yeah, I'm also more on the 8.5.
So this one is from Only Havoc. First time finalist, so actually I should say to all the first time finalists, congratulations on making your first finals for a design challenge. It's not an insignificant achievement, even if you don't win.
Woo.
So we have here what looks to be a very heavily modified American Luxo barge.
Or just probably weird engine trim version. It has a cone thing. It has to be.
It looks like there's probably an intercooler hidden away somewhere underneath this great big mile-long cowling.
Shroud.
Yeah,
I mean, you sure have the space for it.
yeah. There's packaging issues are not a problem in a car this big, are they?
And somehow, it still feels cramped.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
It's probably because the wheel wells are very much in there, because even those big cars, right? They
Yeah,
were not like that far in.
I mean, you can see the radiator fans.
Yep.
Which, like, so much of that is just ducting, I guess. Like, up until where you see the fans, is basically all ducting and then radiator.
yeah, exactly. So there's, yeah, you can actually see now that I mentioned the intercooler earlier, you can actually see the intake piping going into the old air filter, which is a little bit of an unusual.
It still has the old nozzle, like the normal automation side intake on it.
Yeah, and it has a cone filter on top of that. That's a bit of a choice.
Yeah, it's getting air from 3 different directions.
Yep, and filtered twice.
Better
Not clean air.
Very clean air.
I mean, I think if you're driving in the 70s, you need all those filters.
Yeah, exactly. I think it would have been nice to see a little bit more context of the whole car rather than just, here's the front. It's very American Luxo bargey.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
no idea
I-
if this is a standard or modified or whatever. It's like,
Oh, it's very
it
modified.
kind of is, but kind of isn't. Yeah, but the outside doesn't look like it, so it's like,
Although, and again, you kind of have to wonder that cars like this would typically have like a double wishbone suspension. So, and it would attach to the ladder frame, or so would it really even have need for a strut tower brace?
oh yeah,
Yeah, well, you don't know how much
make
extra.
sense.
Don't know how much extra power you're pushing through that engine now with superchargers.
Well,
The
It
torque
went-
of
it went-
that bending the frame.
It's a carbureted turbo. What's gonna do? It started with 150 horsepower, now has a whole 180 or something
yeah,
on 3 tons of steel.
yeah, exactly.
That turbo is for economy, me not for for power.
Yes, it's the Econo Turbo trademark.
Econo turbo.
I think it's a cool design. I think some of the details just don't line up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one had a lot of potential for sure, but it just didn't really get there in the end, I don't think. This is a shot that I kind of question why they'd even include that in the first place. I mean, sure, it shows the engine, but it's, we're basically just looking at straight up automation assets at this point. There's nothing really special about it. Well, nothing new and special about it. It's special anyways. So, yeah.
I think I'll probably give this 7.
I'm going to give this one a
Yeah.
6, I think. Just because it's lots of unrealized potential. That's really all I can say about it.
Very conflicting, yeah. Yeah, I'm going with 6. Some nice ideas, but other things not thought out.
Yeah, agreed. It could have been such a cool build. Next up, it's from Saul, and it's their sort of Art Deco inspired modern supercar.
Somebody wanted to make a cool exhaust again.
Yep, no faulting from that. It is very cool.
I think it's
Yeah,
probably
this
more
is-
realistic exhaust.
Yeah,
This is definitely the type of car like some rich fucker would buy just to put into their like living room or something.
Yep.
This will never see a kilometer.
the only kilometers it will see are the kilometers it gets from driving from the rich person's garage to Cars and Coffee, where they open up the hood and everybody gops at it and then drive it back home.
No, that isn't going to get put on a flatbed.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's getting
they-
driven out of the trailer and onto the trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
This has turbines?
Yeah, probably like the what was it, the T20 from Gordon Murray?
Yeah.
T20?
Yeah, it's some sort of fan car arrangement here.
You can
Or-
either have air conditioning or you can have the centrifugal supercharger.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. This is And this is all custom work. Like everything here is, you can only see just the
Suspension's
smallest.
Really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. It's a very cohesively designed engine bay overall. Like everything fits together well. Everything is plausible. I quite like this.
Very artsy.
Yep. Exactly the kind of thing we should be seeing from more real-world supercars, if you ask me. Because let's face it, everything goes fast as it is anyways. You got to distinguish yourself in other ways. You know, I mean, apart from Pagani, I mean, who does stuff like this these days?
Probably some of those retro tuners which just popped out over the last years.
Yeah. I guess maybe someone like, well, whatever, the modern incarnation of Di Tommaso probably would too. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's... We definitely need more artsy, fanciful supercars.
Functional art.
Wow, that's a lot of detail on the suspension work. I mean, this isn't necessarily the suspension cosmetic design competition, but wow.
That's
I
next up.
think in this sense, the suspension is part of the engine bay, though. So
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is, for sure.
Yeah, it's part, that's true.
I think Singer design might also have some of this, the details.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one I'm struggling to find faults with again, to be honest.
I'm struggling to see where it actually intakes air, though. Like, does it have a hood, like a top mount scoop?
This one, we've seen
have a
the
clue?
exterior pictures of the car before, and I seem to recall that it's basically just, it's got like an open, like a perspex bubble over the
just
engine,
open.
and it's got louvers and whatnot, so it just pulls air in from the engine bay.
Gonna be from hot air that it's intaking, probably.
Yeah, a little bit.
No fault, so this is probably not doing too much actual sporting driving, but
Well, I mean, it hopefully could, but yeah, it's...
yeah, it could do it for a quarter mile and then starts over.
But it looks
It
good in
needs to
doing
drive
so.
once up goodwill. That's fine.
Yeah, this one's... I'm struggling to find fault with this one. I mean, apart from the fact that it's maybe not quite as detailed as the LMP car, this is still going to score
Yeah.
quite well.
Yeah,
I-
this gets a 9 for me.
I'm going to give it a 9.5, I think, overall for me. I just wish there were, a few more little details here and there, but other than that, this is just beautiful overall.
Yeah, I could also go with 9. Maybe gets cooled with the with the turbines there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a really, really good, and not just a good effort, but these are all impeccably photographed. I mean, this is just everything
Yep.
you want from your photos in this. Nothing questionable, nothing left. Good lighting, good composition, very nicely done.
Yeah. A single picture with the hood on would be nice, but that's the only thing from the pictures that I can critique them on.
We've got from Sure As Can Be. This is a 1970s race car, sort of Group 5 IMSA GT
looks-
kind of car.
Looks like it's going to Le Mans.
Just the
Yeah,
body
hello,
on the tube
car.
frame.
It has
Yeah.
an Arnage intake.
Yeah.
They must make an intake for every track and then it's named according to one of the things on the track.
Exactly. Although bus stop is probably not necessarily super evocative for Daytona, but it's what works, I guess.
Yeah, they probably can. Aren't there? Yeah,
I don't know if the corners of Daytona actually have names other than the bus stop chicane.
I do think they do.
If they do, I certainly don't know them. Someone will have to fill me in on that. Anyhow, lots of great details in this. And again, there's definitely some pre-made stuff in here, but it's very judiciously used, so nicely done to the builder for that. Spend your time where it makes sense and avoid it where it doesn't.
I really like the asymmetric build of this. Like the pipes are not just
Yeah,
mirrored.
it feels very realistic and believable in that regard.
And you're doing double work.
Yeah, the photographs are awesome as well. I mean, it shows everything very nicely. Good contrast, good lighting, good composition,
Also, kill switch on the outside.
as one should be.
Oh yeah.
Not just a kill switch, but also an extinguisher discharge too.
Yep.
Very good. Very rules compliant.
In a position where you can actually use them.
Except it probably has a giant fuel tank that it's not.
Well, that's just afterthought, right?
Oh, that's a cool picture.
Yeah. The shadows maybe take a little distracting underneath, but it's still really cool. I mean, I have to fully admit I'm a complete sucker for race cars of this era. They're probably my favorite overall. So, yeah. But these ones specifically I really like.
It has air jacks built in. Very detailed.
Ooh.
But would it be realistic for the time period, though? I don't think
When
air
was this
jacks...
supposed to be?
If it's like a Group 5 GT kind of car, it'd be like late 70s to sort of mid 80s or thereabouts. So
That's
maybe
probably too early.
maybe a bit, yeah.
Like, I really like them.
Yeah, it's a cool idea, but is it really something you'd see in a car of that era necessarily?
Yeah, I'd probably say like late 90s, early 2000s when they probably started.
Yeah. They might not necessarily be air jacks. They might just be like... They might actually just be like a jack stand that you would get the car jacked up and just put in these blocks and say, okay, car's up in the air now. Unfortunately, the builder's not here with us at the moment, so we won't be able to ask them that question ourselves. Other than that, I mean, this is another build that I'm really struggling to find fault with.
Find faults, yeah.
Hose clamps galore.
Yeah, and zip ties everywhere too. Although this one zip tie here in the middle of the wiring harness just below the right wheel there, it's not quite tight. Someone's going to get in trouble for that.
It's gotten loose after 25 hours.
Yeah, I quite like this. I'm going to have to give this another 10. It's just that good.
There's just nothing really to complain about.
Nope.
Yeah. And I think I have to agree with you guys.
Yeah. I think this is the first time in any of these design challenges I've actually given two builds a 10 out of 10. There's just the quality of these community builds has just gone up so much since we've started doing these, and just in general course of everybody improving and learning and whatnot. You know, it's spectacular. It's really nice to see too. You know, everybody who's, as I've said before, everybody who's made the finals here is to be commended for their efforts. Even the ones that don't necessarily do all that well. I mean, you still beat out a lot of cars to get in here, so you can take great pride in that.
I think all of these look really cool. I wish I could give a 10 to like a city car design. That would be
cool.
I'm biased in automation designs to like realistic engines into like just the everyday commuter, because making that is almost like is as difficult as this, but in a completely different way.
Yeah, agreed. You know, it's one thing to do like supercars and race cars and whatnot. I mean, everybody likes those, but doing like an actual real car, sort of an everyday kind of thing, that might actually be more difficult. This one is from Val, and it is very much a Group C car. And based on the type of engine in it, one guess what they were inspired by.
In 1996 Mazda Miata.
Obviously. Again, I kind of like having the engine sort of out on its own with context, you know, with the fixtures for the intakes and the radiators and all that. It gives some context to all the work they've done. I mean, obviously, going back to this first shot, there's a pretty incredible amount of work that's gone into this to build the tube frame, and also all the photography tricks to take the front and rear body sections off. So, lots going on here.
A photo with the engine in the car. Besides this one.
I don't think we have one sort of like a detail shot up close of that, but we've definitely got lots of basically everything other than that, it seems.
Yeah, which is too bad, because that's really what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Like, the floating engine is cool and you can see everything that's done, but I want to see it in context, up close.
Yeah.
And the only photo which we have, that's like very much the same color, sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the space frame here just obscures everything.
Yeah.
Tube frame.
if this shot was zoomed in, like if it was just the car and not the front and rear bodywork, and it was a lot tighter shot, that would have been, a good context shot for sure.
This feels a little bit like a promo material for the manufacturer.
I think that's exactly what the idea was, is that the manufacturer is showing off their super cool race car to prospective customers. I mean, I do quite like it overall. I mean, all the detail is quite nice. Although it's nice. Hard for me to, it's difficult because there's so much going on here to sort of think of it as just the engine and the engine with the car versus looking at all of the detail in the car overall. It's a very good effort overall, I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, the engine is relatively basic. It's just an automation engine.
Yeah. Just an automation engine with some tasteful dressing up to it, which is no harm in that. But I mean, in comparison, in comparison to what we've seen already, it's perhaps a bit on the basic side. It's pretty nicely done.
Yep.
Yeah, there's just details missing, and I can't see a lot of the details due to the pictures. So not a whole lot to critique about because we can't see anything well enough to critique it.
Yeah. Exactly. Just trying to think of where I'd be sitting in terms of a score.
I'm probably giving this a 7.
Yep. That's what is my head like. It's definitely an upgrade from just stock.
Yep.
And nothing is wrong per se.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also just nothing popping out really, right?
Yeah. I think I'll give it a 7.5 actually. Just because it's there's
consistently more generous than us.
I guess that's my reason then. I'm just consistently more generous than the other two absolute sticklers for detail. For not really adding a whole lot, it's been done. Just the engine by itself has been done quite nicely, and obviously the rest of the car is it makes sense with that. It would have been nice to see a little bit closer detail of the engine in the car, but a solid effort nonetheless.
Yeah, the car itself looks really cool, and the pictures itself are awesome.
Yeah.
Just the actual challenge is the engine bay, and it's just a little lackluster.
That frame might be a bit excessive, but
yeah,
that's
perhaps a
point
bit, but exactly. So our final entry is from Von Doom, and it is pretty wild, as one would expect.
Chrome.
Yeah, a little bit overexposed in the shot there. What we have here is basically a 30s, well, they didn't really have the concept of supercars back then, but you could probably call this a supercar from the 1930s.
This is hot rodded with 60s technology.
Yeah, big luxurious thing,
Yep.
I really appreciate the body style. This is not something we see very often.
No. Very few players have the confidence or really the desire to make something pre-war. And anybody who steps out and does that should be commended for that, because it's neat to see people do that. It's nice to see people expand their horizons a little bit and do something different. And because of that, this really stands out in comparison with the rest of the field, because it's just it's so out there.
That is one hell of a placement for those intakes.
Yeah, it is.
Well, when you have a tiny girl at the front and you need to use all of that for cooling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Back then, those engine bays really tapered a lot towards the front, so packaging in these cars in the era was actually really difficult. In spite of the fact they were huge, there wasn't really a whole lot of room under the hood for stuff.
And engine technology wasn't great, but the engines were also huge.
Yes, they were.
Is this actually an inline 8? Hold on.
Is.
It is.
Yep. An engine we don't have an automation just yet.
Soon, TM.
Yes.
Double windscreen.
Double windscreen. Basically just limousine vibes.
Yep. But with a monster engine in it. Very cool design.
Finally.
Yes, the pictures are a little overexposed everywhere, which is slightly too bad.
It is a little too bad, but what we do see, well, that's a bit of a strange color scheme. Very, very red.
very, very weird filter.
Yep.
Cruella de Vil vibes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Which is exactly perfect for a car like this.
Oh, for sure. I would have liked to have a picture with like everything on to just see how these intake tubing works from a.
There you go. No.
That's closer to having
Well, that
everything
still
on.
has the engine. Yeah, that still has the
That's
engine
just
bay
engine.
open.
Yeah,
It fell over.
it did, and it
Well,
showed
it's
all
not
of the 3D work underneath to actually build this car. I'm guessing this is probably mostly, if not completely, 3D work.
Yeah, it's 100%.
Yeah, I think the
The wheels aren't.
ladder
That's it.
or the leaf springs are probably like a fixture.
Or a
Probably not
series of
even.
fixtures. Yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of original automation car left in this is probably just about nothing. If not nothing.
And the wheels.
Yeah, that might be it. And even that with the white walls, I mean, those have been pretty heavily customized too. A lot of effort went into this.
Oh, imagine having to take your spare tire and just having to take your intake off to be able to get to your spare tire.
It's a bit of work.
Well,
But you'd
first
have
of
a-
all, you will not have to do it. You're peasants. You paid.
Your riding
to
mechanic
shove
will
you
do
around
that.
this. Yeah, your riding mechanic will do that.
Yeah, you'd never sully yourself doing something so plebeian as change your own tire. Who'd do that?
You get dirty. You can't have that.
No, of course not.
I mean, this was really cool.
Yep.
The engine bay itself is maybe like lacking a little bit in a few details here and there, but yeah, not a whole lot to critique on.
No, it's pretty cool, and again, I really appreciate the fact that that Doom has just gone way outside the, sort of like what Aurora did, and just do something totally off the wall to stand out. That's
Yeah.
That's
I'd
pretty
probably
awesome.
give this a 9.5. Like the engine bay is detailed enough, and it's just so unique and different.
Mhm.
It helps sell it.
Yeah, I think my only critique is just the sheer preponderance of tubes and hoses and stuff that probably wouldn't be what they'd be doing in Era. They were really big into like big cast stuff and sort of not really this kind of tubing leading to the carburetors and into the superchargers and whatnot, which I believe this thing is supercharged.
Yeah, I'm sort of just imagining this as somebody.
It feels like more like what's it called, like these flexi pipes things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sort of imagining it's like 20 years after this car was originally manufactured, and somebody was like, "I'm gonna clean this up and make this slightly more modern."
That's fair. Yeah, I'd buy that. Okay.
Don't know if that's what his thought process was, but that's what I'm choosing to imagine.
I'm going to go for a 9 on this one, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking now at just below the first exhaust exit, and there's some tubing there, but that doesn't actually line up properly. Like it's just ovals, and then it's just a flat surface.
I think that might be...
Yeah.
I don't know what that would
Just
be.
a flange, isn't it?
Yeah, it's flange and it goes into something that's hidden behind this first exhaust header. I don't know if it's like some sort of a pump, like whether it's like a water pump or oil pump or whatever. It's not a supercharger
Might be
because the dog is
balancing.
just...
Might be
Uh,
balancing shaft or something.
I don't think you need that for an inline 8. That's probably the last thing you want is more great big long things hanging off the engine and
yeah.
being driven.
Oh yeah, it doesn't. It also doesn't go all the way. I don't
No.
know.
Yeah, it's some sort of pump, I think, perhaps.
I
Interesting.
might change mine to a 9. I do feel like there's a little bit of detail missing here and there, but
For sure.
I go with 9. Don't quite like how the intakes looked at these, like, domes,
Yeah.
but otherwise,
It's a very unique build, and I definitely appreciate that.
oh yeah. And sadly, the pictures are also not the best.
Yeah, they're
yeah, they're overexposed.
a
Yeah,
little
we
bit.
really only are looking at the one picture
Yeah.
most of the times.
So, I think quite predictably, our winner here was Frederick Lennius at 9.82 points with his absolutely incredible LMP car. So congratulations to them. Second place, not actually that far behind, 9.61 points, was Sure As Can Be with their Group 5 race car. And then we have a tie for third place between Saul and Von Doom at 9.05 points each. So congratulations to them. And then rounding it out in fifth place with 8.84 points is Aurora the Robot with their motorcycle. Thank you to everybody who entered the challenge. Thank you to obviously to our finalists who made it through. That was quite an achievement. And even really for everybody who entered, if you didn't necessarily make the finals, we appreciate you putting in the effort to join the challenge and submit an entry, and we hope you will all come back for the next one. We'll see you all next time.